Hall Heroes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to TownHall Heroes, episode number 124. This is our BlizzCon preview show. My name is Solid Jake. We've got, well, the tombstone of Dunk Train. He's not going to be here today. KO is back once again, and we actually have the entirety of Astral Authority live from the esports arena during their boot camp. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, what's up?
Hello,
Good to be here.
What's up?
Ooh, we get some of the double mic actions when you guys lean into each other. There's some fun potential here. I like this.
I'll try to lean away a little.
No, it's all good. KL, let's open up with you, man. How have you been? How are you enjoying Samuro?
People all pronounce it differently. Yeah, I just say Samuro. But I've been good. Just did Brawl with the Blues today, this morning. That was pretty fun. Did a little bit of the Brawl mode as well. Good times. But yeah, things have been good. Just been raiding a little bit in WoW. I'm a late to the party person, but I have been getting into H1Z1 a little bit too. I'm playing that on the side a bit. It's a lot of fun. I feel like competitive teams need to play that game, build team synergy together.
That's actually
in any game.
Yeah, it makes sense. I have not gotten into that game at all, but I've heard great things about it. So this is going to be really tough to just go down the line with Astral Authority, since half of you are like kind of on camp, half aren't. We're just start with Psalm, buddy. You're, obviously Alarak. You've fallen in love with him. How you feeling about the newest hero, Samuro?
Samuro is really, really, really fun. It's really, 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 really fun. It's like kind of playing. I'm like playing an entirely different game by myself, pretty much, when I play that hero.
Nice.
It's really fun. Yeah.
Going down the line, Fury. I'm gonna ask you about Zarya. How you feeling about her? Is she a new bae?
For me, not really. It's more of Cattle.
Ooh, Cattle. That's your bae, huh?
Yeah. I played her before she got buffed.
Where do you think she sits? Is she good? Is she great? Is she okay?
She's somewhere between good and great. She's pretty good. Not like she's not super insane anymore because they toned her down a bit, but still really good.
Awesome. All right, next we have Cawthon. Cawthon, I heard you rambling a bit about Gul'dan, getting some of that Dignitas inspiration, eh?
Yeah, trying to keep up with EU, It's standard life here in NA.
He's queuing up Gul'dan as we speak.
Literally in the Gul'dan queue. And last but not least, June, welcome to the show. You don't really have any new toys to play with. It's just the same old... Well, Malfurion, he's new.
Yeah, he's pretty fun.
Liking the Malfurion. Well, guys, this is very much like a BlizzCon preview show. We've got, obviously, the entire crew here live from the esports arena, and big thank you to all of you guys for joining us here during your boot camp session. I think we all know Astral Authority quite well, but what we don't know is where Samuro sits. Samuro is sitting, well, we know he has a 66% win rate currently when it comes down to it, which is very high. This has happened with quite a few heroes at launch, but I don't know if it's ever been that high.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't end up going through the same roller coaster that happened with Zarya. Like, they need to make sure they're careful with the changes that they make initially, because they don't want to repeat what happened there. Like, the extreme back and forths between her, like, win-loss ratio being extremely high, and then, like, dumpster tier, and then, like, back up to being first ban every game and scrims and stuff. Don't want to repeat that. So I hope they're a little bit careful and patient and don't overreact to the initial numbers, because I think a lot of people just don't know how to deal with Samuro yet. There's a lot of people that are probably just literally attacking clones all the time. And they're like, oh, I didn't know he could actually just change like multiple times in a team fight.
I don't know. I just feel like he's, no matter what with his kit, he's just going to always be broken in quick match in Hero League.
Why is that?
Just, I don't know. He's not actually killable. Like, there's no way a team in QM or Hero League is going to be coordinated enough to actually kill him late game.
Solemn, do you agree? As you know, obviously you play a lot of melee assassins. You think he's got so much survivability and so much ability, just at least in the quick match scenario where you can get away with murder left and right?
Yeah, he's impossible to kill. I think last night when we were playing quick match, I sat in the enemy's team space for like 10 minutes just fighting.
What?
Almost got like 200k damage. Yeah, he's pretty dumb. Like his early game is pretty weak, but then once you hit like level 13, he just becomes impossible to kill.
Yeah, once you get that like mini teleport, that's something I feel like out of all of the different talents that he has, that one stands out to me as being like grossly strong compared to the other options. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that how you see it as well? Or do you think that's like a big part of where his power spike comes from?
Ooh, Psalm changed my mind on that talent.
I actually don't like Shikuchi. I like the
Oh wow.
one where it spawns another clone when you windwalk. I think that one's
Oh yeah,
much better.
I've heard like people are taking that more just because like then you can teleport to that clone, right? So
Yeah, and when you get the windwalk cooldown at 20, you can actually get 2 clones just from casting windwalk, and then you have mirror image on top of that, and you can just keep 2 clones up pretty much all the time.
yeah.
Like I think Shikuchi is, you don't need Shikuchi. You have a windwalk that you can't be broken from like for like a couple seconds, and then you have 55% move speed if you get the quest. I don't think you need a blink on top of that. It's kind of overkill.
Interesting. I haven't played around with them too much outside of Heroes Brawl. I've only played a couple games, but that's something I'm gonna have to test around a bit. Now,
Yeah.
Samuro as a hero, like you said, his early game is a little bit weaker. Where does he sit in terms of like the drafting? Is he the type of hero where you can just first pick as like a really safe choice and there's no direct counter to him? Because we haven't had a whole lot of melee assassins in the meta that have fit that role. Like, sure, Illidan's have been in that position at times, and sure, Kerrigan's been in first pick in certain maps, maybe Thrall too, but a lot of them tend to, make their way in as more of a response to based on the enemy's composition and so on and so forth. Is he flexible enough to be, a first pick?
I don't know. We haven't scrimmed with him, and we're not actually going to scrim with him because he's not allowed at BlizzCon, so we're going to hold off on that. But from my perspective, I think his early game is like so weak that if you pick him that early, the other team's just going to pick some kind of like early game push deathball comp and just get like a 2 to 3 level lead and make sure that once you hit like 13 to 16, it doesn't even matter because you're just never going to split up ever again and just push your advantage. So I think he's probably somewhere in the middle of the draft where you pick him up, but I don't know for sure.
It seems to me a lot like I called him the melee version of Nidus Sagara because his global map pressure is pretty much unrivaled in the late game. I think to counter him, though, you kind of play against him the same way you play against stacking Azmodan or the old KT where it came out, where if you don't punish his weak early game and get like a 2-level lead or a keep down or something, you're going to basically lose the late game.
Yeah, it's kind of cool you bring that up because that whole style of building a specialist just deathball pushing comp in the early game is something we see emerge when one of those like hyper carry late game characters becomes super popular in the meta, and I think that's cool to see those like counter metas pop up where you have these like pushes that can actually get you such a big lead by taking out a fort within the first few minutes of a game. So yeah, I think that's a good point. It's something we probably will see. He fits awkwardly too into the actual lanes, as opposed to like where do you put him? Because he really doesn't have much of wave clear. I mean, I guess you just have to basically be a ganker, but he doesn't have the like any slows or anything to capitalize on that. Just basically relying on body blocks.
You just wait till 2 minutes and then jungle till level 13.
Yep, pretty much.
Now, he is really good in the jungle. Merc camps are not an issue considering his clones can just tank so much damage. One thing I will say about the clone, though, is when you use it right next to a wall, I had completely unaware of this, did it earlier today, you can actually have one of the clones teleport through the wall, and there's a chance that ends up being you. So if you do that early game when you're I'm trying to get this, nice little body block on someone in lane, and then next thing I know, I'm over the wall and I'm just absolutely demolished. So there's some funny interactions that can happen with that, but definitely gives him a lot of cool, at the same sense, you can teleport through a wall and then control and, really just kind of use that in some unique ways. And as this hero is figured out over time, I think we're going to start to see some really high level play with him, which is what I'm pumped about. We're seeing more and more heroes that do have playmakers that feel like the novice player wouldn't be able to do that accurately.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to playing against him. I don't know. Just like theoretically, I don't know. His like mirror image ult just seems so stupid.
It's a better version of Nidus, a much better version of the original Nidus.
Yeah, I don't
if your Niduses would uproot and start attacking people, that's basically what we have.
He's gonna be one of those heroes where I'm just gonna, whenever someone's like, "Yo, we should ban this," I'm just gonna be like, "Nah, we're banning Samura. I don't want to play against him."
Yeah.
All right, well, we're not going to spend too much time talking about Samuro because, as mentioned, he's not going to be playable at BlizzCon. He's brand new, still lots of stuff to figure out with him. I just want to do one quick run-through of some of the new things they've put into this patch besides him. So, as you know, there is not really a balance patch this week. They've really just added Samuro. I think they did a great job with his actual launch screen. The splash page looks really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the best one yet.
Yeah, for sure.
It's up there, for sure, yeah. And it really deviates from, like, the normal Nexus theme that we get. This is totally different color-wise.
It's true. They even changed the BattleNet launcher color. I don't know if you guys noticed that. The BattleNet launcher is red with him, with the sunset behind it, which is pretty cool. I don't know if they've done that for other heroes. They might have done it for like events like the StarCraft event and stuff. But so that's nice. In match history, they now show the hero played. So I think this is something they thought about for the Brawl since you're playing multiple heroes. But they're showing win-loss for each round. I think that looks really nice. You can just look through that and see how you've done. And then I think the only other real UI change I just thought it was a nice quality of life. God, I'm that diamond pleb. Yeah, you can hate on me. Wait, what? Why?
I'm diamond.
Why do I have 3 of them linked to my mouse?
Whoa, how did you do that?
I don't know.
You're a legend.
Well, you can now, all the AI stuff is compiled into one little thing.
Is that supposed to be like Samuro's clones? Like you just
Must
controlling
be
all of them? It all makes sense now.
But yeah, it's a good patch. It just seems the game seems to be running better. The last couple patches, I'm pretty happy with all that. But the big discussion that we wanted to have today is really about BlizzCon opening week because it is on the horizon and it'll be here before we know it. Really, we have 16 teams that are going to be. Is it 12 or 16? Am I blanking?
Well,
it's 12.
12.
I keep telling myself 16, but it's totally 12 from the global. And now this is how many of yours first global event?
Me, I think.
everyone but
Everyone,
you,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I mean,
Yeah, I was there too.
I guess question number 1 is how does that feel?
Oh no, it doesn't really feel much different than like just a regional yet. I'm sure that'll change the closer it gets to actual like opening week / BlizzCon. But I don't know. Right now, it just still feels like regular practice, like just a little more intensive. But
I think a lot of it has to do with the way that our team is perceived coming into the tournament. It feels the same for us because we were never expected to win either of the regionals, and there were teams that were considered to be juggernauts compared to us. And it's the same thing for this Worlds, where we're going in as kind of like our comfortable position as the underdogs and trying to catch people off guard and, show them that we're a little stronger than people think.
I surely don't think you're like a big underdog in this tournament after what you guys have like proven with your success. I mean,
I think the common perception is we're a huge underdog.
I mean, maybe in the global stage, like when it comes down to the
global stage.
final few teams, yeah.
Oh, I'm not
But
saying
you guys-
I believe it, but like the public perception of our team or of NA in general going into this is the usual perception our team has had. So it feels kind of like Cattle said, like all the other events.
Yeah.
Where I
One of
feel like we
the
have
interesting things
something.
about the scale of like BlizzCon sized events too, because you just have so many people there that are just so loud and like get so involved in the hype and everything that it definitely like feels you can feel the scale, right? Like you have all your noise canceling stuff on, of course, all that good stuff. So you're in the zone, but you can really like feel everybody just going crazy in the like just the vibration, of the stage and everything. It's pretty intense.
It's intimidating. I mean, it's definitely a different beast. And with our regional events, it's not like they're that huge either. BlizzCon is a different beast. Like the regionals are great. Like DreamHack Austin was a good sized stage, a sizable crowd, but there's a lot to do there. Whereas BlizzCon, everything is there's so much, but yet there's so many people. So it really does feel quite tight. And there had to have been something like 7,000 people at the Hero stage last year around the grand finals. It's not necessarily going to be like that for every game, but the number of people, like it's literally flooded to the point where the Hero stage had no more seats, no more standing space, and Hearthstone was done. So they were then filtering people to go to the Hearthstone stage and watch from there. And that's like, a great problem to have, right? But it's going to be definitely a new experience for you guys. But we do have all the teams here. I totally didn't set up this graphic for the production, so we're going to do it the janky way and just kind of show it on my monitor with all the Windows stuff on the sides. Nice. And these are all the 12 teams competing in the event. So from North America, you guys will be going in as the number 1 seed, meaning you guys get to jump right into the top 8, which is got to be a nice little benefit. Now, before we continue on, I want to ask you, do you feel that, having that advantage number 1 seed is the ideal where you get to sit back and scout, or would you rather just kind of get warmed up on the stage, on the computers, in the atmosphere, and play those quote unquote easy matches first?
I definitely prefer first seed, I think. It's just you have more time to prepare, more time to just scout, and just really figure out what you want to play. So I'm definitely happy that it's this way.
Same.
Have a nice
I agree.
Well, scouting will be a big factor, especially with this 2 major patches going into BlizzCon that you guys haven't really gotten to like experience what everybody is doing, and you're not going to have that much information to watch and look at other than the actual games that take place on the stage.
Yeah, there's for China especially, there's literally no information because they haven't actually played like on stream for
since August,
3 months or something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So being able to like sit back and at least watch, because I think there's a decent chance we play a Chinese team in our first round.
Well,
so it's good that we get to watch for that at least.
We do have an update for China in just a moment as well. But Denial, Dignitas, Fnatic, Ballistics, which is obviously a new pickup here for the Korean side. And then we have that was L5. Then we have MVP Black, Zero Panda, and then Super Perfect Team is no longer Super Perfect Team. Now it's really common for whatever reason that Chinese teams in particular tend to have visa issues. I don't know why the U.S. government loves to deny people visas to the U.S., but they do. And as a result, Super Perfect Team couldn't get all their players here to NA for BlizzCon. And Blizzard just put out this post. Trixler actually posted on the official forums just a bit ago, basically saying that the following players will complete this roster. It's E-Star merging with Super Perfect Team. They will be called E-Star for the tournament because 3 members are E-Star. And it's going to be Misaka, Kyan, Xingxi, Tiger, and Toomey. I probably butchered all their names because that's what I do. Is this news to you, Cattle?
We knew there was some sort of roster stuff going on. So not really, but that exact post we haven't seen yet because we had to do stuff in the morning.
Well, it's kind of crazy to see this happen. It's really unfortunate, but it's just kind of like last BlizzCon how the Chinese team that was a hybrid team actually did very well. I mean, they looked good. So they're really great players who are all proven names to have had a lot of success in the Chinese region. So they're definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, those are really good players that they're getting. So.
It's not going to be a walkover. Like typically when you see one of these teams that merge like that, no, that's definitely a powerhouse. So And then the last couple teams, or last 4 teams we have here from Latin America, Burning Rage from Taiwan, PBA making it here once again. PBA defeated, what was it, Gale Force in Sweden?
Yeah.
So
Feels bad, man. They're coming for me again.
Fury, are you worried?
PBA gods.
We got him this time.
Okay. He's got him. And then Imperium Gaming from Southeast Asia and Reborn from ANZ. So obviously, a lot of talent. This is the last event of the year, $1 billion on the line. And I think we actually do have our groups we can look at as well. Who are you guys scared of the most out of those last 4 teams we just talked about?
PBA.
Does everyone agree?
Yeah, that's
Fury's number.
it's like a 30% chance Fury just has like a breakdown on stage. Flashbacks.
PTSD.
He just
Can you
runs off
VP
the
the core
stage.
though?
Oh. I don't know, man. My VP to catapults.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm getting there, guys.
Yeah.
Today was the struggle. Ooh, I see they announced the BlizzCon hosts. Ooh, This Week in Hero Esports, and has a picture of Dunk Train. Oh, rest in
Who's
peace,
that?
Dunk Train.
Wait, what year is
Who's
this?
that?
It's Duncan. He's not even here.
All right, so we've got the full schedule. We know that opening week starts on the 26th. So basically, for all you guys that are looking to tune into BlizzCon, 9 a.m. Pacific time on the 26th is the start of opening week. Opening week will be 3 days long, and that will basically be our whole entry into BlizzCon. And then there's that small time period in between where the teams basically have time to just fix their mistakes and do their last bit of study and prepare for the actual main event of BlizzCon, because BlizzCon is November 4th and 5th. But that's going to give us a nice little small transition period in between. But opening week, I don't believe is actually open to the public. It is going to be right in LA at a closed studio with really nice quality production. It's going to look really good for everyone online, I'm sure. I know they're working very hard on it. And they did actually announce the caster list, so I can't say that I'm really pumped to be part of that, and all the other casters. It's gonna be fun. I'll have to get that list up here as well because I don't want to get it wrong. But I don't.
Dude, opening week is so hype. Like, it's such a fun time for the players too. It's a stressful time, of course, but I mean, you guys just get to go and train and play at the facilities with infinite food and great catering and all that. It's a good time, man. I have so many fond memories of just hanging out there, just playing, getting warmed up, just having a good time hanging out with everybody. So that's always a really cool time for the event, for the players.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it.
All right, we found it, boys. So Group 1 is going to be Denial, Reborn, MVP Black, and Burning Rage. So again, this is where Astral is exempt and Dignitas is exempt. Ballistics is exempt, and who am I missing? Crap.
Dig, us, Ballistics, and
It's China.
China.
Why can't I think of their name right now?
Team's name. Zero?
Scumlord. Yeah, Zero Panda. So they're all exempt from the first day, but which group do you think is harder? I mean, obviously PBA, you're talking about, one of those last 4 teams that are, they're probably the scariest. E-Star, this new merger team, and then Fnatic, from EU, and then Imperium coming in from C.
I think Group 2 is going to be less obvious who's going to win and make it out. I think Group 1 is pretty set, but...
You think it's just MVP and Denial and Reborn and Burning Rage have no chance?
That's what I think, yeah. Group 2, a little harder to say. Not really sure.
Anyone else disagree?
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my prediction as well.
So let's just kind of go through Group 1. Denial versus Reborn. I'm going to say 2-0 Denial. Everyone agree or disagree?
I'd
Agree.
agree, yeah.
And then the same story for MVP Black versus Burning Rage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huge
Alright.
upset coming.
Oh, you think
You
so?
heard it here.
Down to the losers match, presumably Reborn versus Burning Rage. Bets on that.
That's a really hard one to call, I would say.
Yeah. I honestly don't
No
know.
idea. No idea.
I think
I'll say 2-1 Burning Rage.
really.
Yeah.
I think it's more intimidating.
You-
I think they have a decent amount of people who are like pretty experienced on like the global scene, so
Well, they're playing on
Yeah,
NA,
definitely.
right? And
they're playing what?
Reborn's playing on Southeast Asia, and Burning Rage is playing on NA when it comes to their servers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So-
I think there is Latin American servers, isn't there?
Maybe there is. I never remember. But I thought they were still
I don't know.
kind of merged in a way. Okay. And then the winners match. Does Denial stand a chance versus MVP Black?
I think they can
Honestly,
take a game.
I don't think so, right?
think
Like
they'll
where
take
they
a
are at
game.
right now.
I'm
I
gonna
don't know.
I'm gonna say
I don't know.
yes because I think MVP Black might get greedy and try to not show anything. And if you sleep on a team like Denial, they can definitely punish you.
Yeah, I mean, Denial's a super smart team. They have some good like drafts up their sleeves, so I think they can catch them off guard and at least take a game.
You think they're behind in terms of draft, in terms of mechanics? What sets MVP Black ahead of Denial more than anything else?
Just decision making overall, I think. I think that's the biggest thing. Just like making the right decisions fast enough.
Team fight.
Team fight.
So that's mechanics.
Yeah, team fight mechanics.
Okay.
Yeah, mainly the synergy.
like everyone is like knows what to do.
Dude, Twitch chat is so ferocious.
Ooh, what do we got?
They're just saying everything.
Everything.
Oh. Oh.
All right, moving over to Group 2. I'm actually tilted whether or not Group A and B because everything else uses A
Yeah.
and B.
The only other thing I just wanted to say about that matchup, I feel that, with Denial, they might be able to catch MVP Black off guard maybe a little bit with their own, the way they approached the Korean teams last year at BlizzCon.
With
A lot
Murky?
of the same players. Yeah, let's see the Murky again. Obviously is the only
The thing
counter
is
to
like,
Korea.
I don't think like that was expected out of them. Whereas I feel like nowadays, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. I don't think it would happen again. I think they would know. I think I got that phrase completely backwards as well because I'm just that good at life.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of the drafts we've seen in like the Korean League and stuff also have been a little weird too. Like they definitely have expanded. Like they were a lot tighter in the first season with what they would pick, and now you see like the occasional really weird drafts coming out from them. So they've expanded their horizons. I think they're a little more used to playing these outside of the box compositions.
Well, we'll see. I mean, that's going to be the one big match I think everybody's hyped for. Of course, upsets can happen. Reborn and Burning Rage, they're not going to go out without a fight. They're the strongest teams from their region. And although, historically in these global events, those regions don't tend to see the results, you never know. You can't count them out. Moving over to Group 2 PBA, that's one of those teams from the smaller regions. They defeated Fury just last year, or just last season, rather.
Oh, no.
That was Gale Force that went down to them. They'll be here with E-Star Gaming, which, of course, is a bit of a merger. It's 3 members E-Star, that announcement we just talked about. Imperium Pro Gaming will be coming in, and Fnatic, where did Fnatic place in the Nexus games? Top 4?
So
Yeah, they got top 4.
Top 4?
Yeah.
Now, Nexus Games isn't necessarily the best judge of skill. A lot of teams are doing some silly things in there and not necessarily going all out. But still, that's something to think about here. They might
What do
not
you
be
mean,
at full
Jake?
power. Ho. Yeah, obviously, Astral got
We're
what, ninth
serious.
place?
Well,
These Wiggles of you, Caliprod, 18 months sub height.
Oh, we wanted some money, so we knew if we went all out and everybody else held back, easy game, easy life.
Easy money.
Fair enough.
Show everything.
That's what to
Show
do it.
everything. We have nothing left.
Yep.
Well, right out of the gates, E-Star versus Imperium. I think we're all going to say E-Star. And then Fnatic versus PBA. It's probably going to be Fnatic, but who knows? I mean, PBA has made the upsets happen in the past. That could be an interesting matchup. Fury, I'm going to target you with this. Do you think PBA can beat Fnatic?
Yeah, I think so. It's possible, but I think Fnatic's a really good team, so I think they can pull through.
yeah, I expect Fnatic to win.
Yeah, same here. But, anything can happen.
That's definitely one of those sets where we're at least not going to probably see a clean sweep either way. There's going to be some games taken, by both sides. PBA definitely is going to put up a good fight.
That group really has, any of the 4 teams could advance from that group.
Wow. You really think that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and just kind of assume the matchups. Let's go to losers. If it ends up being PBA versus Imperium, do you think that there's even a clear favorite there for the losers match? Or is that just going to be really good if that ends up happening?
I don't know. I don't think it's too clear. Overall, I would think that E-Star wins and Fnatic places second, but I don't know. It's really hard to say.
All right. Well, there's only so much speculating we can do. Obviously,
Yeah.
these teams, they're going to be flying out, I think, as early as Friday this week, so in 2 days.
Yeah, they're traveling on Friday.
You guys are already there. You guys are at Esports Arena, so you're basically next to the convention center, probably within an hour of it, so that's convenient.
Yeah, our house is a 3-minute drive from BlizzCon. We
You
already,
guys have got a sweet setup. You guys did
Yeah.
did it right. You guys got yourselves all set up to where you have your nice little area in the esports arena, which is a good venue. Is it pretty quiet there, during the day and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely pretty quiet.
That's good. You guys can focus on your comms and also sit back and just talk about draft and stuff like that. You guys just going to be very comfortable going into the event, which is something that a lot of teams don't have the luxury of. Is settle you have to sort of find your spot and everything. I mean, once it comes to the actual Blizzard venue for opening week, things get a lot smoother and easier for everyone. But up until then, yeah, just even those couple days of not being able to play the game at all can be really stressful for a team preparing for Worlds.
Yeah. Plus, not having to travel 20 hours
yeah.
a few days before you
Yeah.
play is really nice. We're settled in for almost 2 weeks before we even have our first game, so we're super relaxed.
So
Yep.
Good.
let's compare your boot camp situation to Dignitas, where they flew from Europe to Korea to grind ladder. Obviously they're playing against all kinds of talent. They're seeing new things. It's a great way to find inspiration from some of these ladder gods. I mean, I saw Bakery tweeted a picture of a Chromie that was just I think his damage was double SCSC, who was playing Li Ming or something. But you guys think that that's a risky move, doing that, going to Korea right before BlizzCon to get that kind of training?
I don't think it's smart at all. I think it's way too much travel. There's no guarantee the teams you're scrimming there aren't just literally farming you for information, because there's no reason for them to actually show you any actual strats they're playing. So you're basically only playing the players and guessing whether or not they're actually playing anywhere near their full potential. And I don't know. I think it's way too big of a time investment.
You have to worry about hiding your own strats as well. Whereas if you're just playing in your own region, you're scrimming against your own hometown or your home country, you can go all out in scrims. like we're scrimming the Venton and Gale Force, and we're showing anything that we want because it doesn't matter because we won't be playing there for a while. But if you're going to like Korea, yeah, like Cattle said, since Koreans are already the favorites, they don't feel the need like, oh, we have to worry about beating these guys, or we have to worry about scouting out all their info. They're just kind of chilling. They don't really have to show you much, and you can't go out all out of scrims. So
I would imagine there's a fair bit of national pride too for them, just to be able to say that Korea took home the victory at the end of the day. So if there are those hardcore fans that are playing at the high level on ladder, heck yeah, they're going to do some weird things to try to throw off the guys at Dig if they know it's them, right? I'm sure the guys at Dignitas have Smurfs or something in line, or I hope, but
it's in the end, like, ladder is still Hero League. Like, I saw Bakery's post, but then I also saw him post that JPL said it's literally the worst Hero League he's ever played. So, like, I don't know.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
yeah,
Apparently he's not having a good time.
Well, okay, so one thing that happened at a lot of the regional events is like the Korean teams like scrim the NA teams like once or twice, or EU teams, and like if they're not good enough, they don't really waste their time like scrimming them more. And you gotta wonder, like, for Dig going over there, I mean, like, hopefully they made good first impressions and didn't end up like getting blocked out of practice, in general, having to scrim like a much lower tier Korean team, which would probably end up not even being beneficial to them, as opposed to just like avoiding all of that extra travel. Again, what we were just talking about too is like the comfortability going into the event. That's a lot of travel and a lot of stuff to do. So it was certainly a huge risk to make that decision. But maybe they had a certain deal like worked up with a team where like they were going to make it worth it for sure. Who knows? It's hard to say, but big risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would just be exhausted from that much travel. Also,
because you got to set up in a new place if you're going to be there for a little while boot camping. Like that's setting up, getting everything comfortable. Like you got to basically like get into a routine there for how long are they there? They're going to be there for like basically like 2 weeks, right?
I don't even think it's that much. Maybe like 10 days or something.
Man, that is not a lot of time before you just have to get back into travel mode again.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just looking at JPL's Twitter because he talked about him like tweeting. I couldn't find his tweet about saying it's the worst Hero League ever, but I do see him getting body blocked by one of Zool's skeletal mages, and it's hilarious.
Oh man.
So Korean Zools, man, unbeatable.
Yeah, they got the perfect positioning with those skeletal mages. They're also eating Korean barbecue in Korea, and now I'm infinitely jealous. I mean, that's the secret to their training. Their boot camping isn't about the Hero League. It's not about the practice. It's about the camaraderie and the barbecue, the Korean barbecue, just going ham on fried chicken and KBBQ and all the other delicious things out there. So, and apparently Burger King in their hotel. Nice.
That's why June's good. It's all the Korean food.
Is that the secret, June?
Yep.
June, where do you live in NA? Like the South?
Texas.
Texas, yeah. There's probably not any good Korean food in Texas.
Yeah, it's not the best.
That's a struggle. So, just kind of shifting gears, June, we haven't talked too much tonight, and the meta has shifted a lot to the point where we have a lot of double support, especially here in North America. We have a fair bit of that. For you as a support player, does this make like the drafting phase a lot more exciting because you don't necessarily know who you're going to land on? And are there mind games you can play?
I still play the heroes that I used to play, so it's kind of same in the end. Actually, Cosmic gets to play a lot of more heroes now, like Driving, Trending. Oh man, I should play Trending. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much mystery. You're going to be on Brightwing, Ariel, or Mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
June gets no variety.
Rip.
You get some Rhaegar too.
Oh.
Well, Tyrande is an interesting one though. Like Tyrande being flared up in some situations. I mean, like, is Tyrande kind of on the radar right now, or without saying too much, is it pretty decent at the moment?
Every hero is on the radar.
Yep. Okay.
Every single one.
You busting
Yeah.
out the butcher?
Okay,
The young
except
Psalm
for maybe
Butcher?
Butcher.
Except for Butcher. Butcher is not on the radar.
Rip Cam.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
think
what
we've-
somebody hiding a butcher strat would say.
I think we've scripted
Oh,
with
no,
like
you caught us.
probably 90% of the heroes in the past like 2 months, like at least a few times. It's like every hero's got their moment, except for Butcher.
I mean,
there was like
look-
one time where I was like Butcher, and everyone's like no. He's like the only one.
I think
But
I
everything
played
else.
7 games of Hero League last night, and the only one we lost was when we had a butcher. And I was just like, it's just how it works, right? I saw the butcher pick. I was like, GG, I can just walk away. Oh, feels bad, man. Oh, well. Okay. Well, that makes me sad, June. I want you to have more diversity.
Well, I get to play Moth. He's really fun. So I'm okay with that.
You
At
think-
least I don't have to play with her like 500 games. So not bad.
You think Mouth is OP?
Oh, maybe. Pretty decent.
If he lands his roots.
Yeah.
Viable. Viable.
Yep.
Now, just looking at the meta from the Nexus games, it was, obviously this is just recent. It was like the NA stuff happening. We were constantly seeing first pick Mouth for like the first week, and then they gave him the small nerf, and then first pick Mouth became less common, but he's still really prominent. Do you guys think Mouth is that like number one support that just, if you can lock him in the first rotation and it's the safe thing to do it? Or are there scenarios where you would rather have Ariel and Brightwing, so you wouldn't go for the Mouth?
I don't think Malf is ever bad to have, but there's situations where like other things might fit into your comp a little better.
There's
you can-
definitely times recently where we have preferred Brightwing over Mouth, even when he's up. Like, it's
Yeah.
just, there's a lot of factors that go into that decision.
Yep.
Ooh, we got a random injection here from Trixler. He's got a question for you, Fury. When are you going to drop that Artanis?
Oh.
Shh. Don't tell anyone.
Well, it's been told.
It'll be a surprise.
Oh no.
The double swap Artanis
Hopefully
coming out.
soon. They're not gonna have that for BlizzCon, right? Where you can't QE.
Yeah. You won't
Yeah,
get it.
it's not in the game.
No.
China. We'll do it at China.
Do it in China.
Yeah.
Okay. I definitely had another question lined up. KO, any questions?
I would say for you guys right now, just like judging the stack of teams, do you guys still see MVP Black as being like the dominator, or do you think like the results were true? Do you think this really is Ballistics on top at this point?
I think MVP Black's still the favorites, but I think teams are closer than people think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely the strongest, but teams have shown that they're beatable.
Yeah, especially with how important draft is now. Like, there's games where if you get out drafted, like you just lose.
I mean, like right now, for where you guys are sitting compared to EU, like the way I kind of look at it, I think a lot of the EU top teams right now are sort of in between you guys and the rest of NA. And I see like you guys are sort of really clearly shown that you're a tier ahead of every other team right now in North America. And EU is sort of like playing quite similarly around the same levels. Like even recently with like Nexus games and stuff, we've seen even Misfits is looking extremely good, and they're not one of the teams going. I mean, how do you guys see EU as opposed to like you guys stacking up versus the rest of NA, and then where does EU fit into that?
I mean, it's hard to say for sure.
Don't be afraid of shit talking.
Yeah, no, I still feel like they're the weaker region. I don't think either of the teams is ahead of us or Denial, so
Ooh.
we'll see how it turns out.
Well, I mean, I just hope we get to honor that BlizzCon tradition where NA gets to knock EU out. I think that's the way it needs to be, because Grand finals last year was satisfying. If Dunk was here, he'd be having those eyebrows. They'd be raised. He'd be wiggling around. He'd be smiling. He'd be like, "God damn, it was satisfying." But the EU nerds, they're slipping in. They woke up. They're in the chat.
Oh, no.
Just a few of them. But it's interesting. Their meta just looks so drastically different. Like it always does. But it looks odder than ever right now, which is a weird thing to say. I mean, I remember watching the Nexus games and just being genuinely kind of like, huh? Like,
Yeah, I mean, we try a lot of stuff out. We try a lot of weird things. We try a lot of weird drafts, and just I don't know. When I see some of the EU drafts, I'm just they make no sense. It's
On
just
another
like
level.
there's so many like weaknesses to the comp that other teams that they're playing against just aren't exploiting, which is why I think some of those drafts end up looking like they work. But like when we look at it, like if they just pick this one different hero, like it's a clear-cut win.
yeah.
No, I don't know. I just feel like it feels like I guess it's a little different because of Nexus game results now, but I don't know. I feel like Dig is like the clear-cut, like best team, and some of their drafts look weird because they can just play whatever they want and win with it anyways because they're just like a step ahead of the weaker EU teams. So
They also did the Nexus Games finals with Gul'dan in every draft. Like,
yeah, pre BlizzCon, don't want to show too much. So, or maybe they just think Gul'dan is super OP. We'll see.
Mene loves him.
They tweeted about Gul'dan and how awesome he is.
Could this just be like the epic EU mind games? I mean,
Who
it's kind
knows?
of shaping up that way.
Yeah,
They just want you guys. They want you guys to just lead off with the first ban on Gul'dan.
Oh, we're picking him.
Oh.
We're not banning him.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's
Ooh,
ours.
that.
If we don't pick him after all this quick match practice I'm putting in, I'm gonna be.
he's feeling a lot better ever since they gave him the buffs. He definitely seems like he's got potential. But Cawthon, you said you've been playing him a lot. Where does he fit in compared to one of the heroes that you'd be playing in his instead? Like imagine him versus Zagara. Is he like a Chen counter? Like where do you think Gul'dan excels?
Wait, what hero? Who?
Gul'dan.
Well, then.
But then,
like where is Gul'dan good?
It's good when nobody dives on you, and also the other team just kind of stays in front of you and pokes. So, whenever that happens in an NA draft, I'm not sure when that is, but
He's good when the other team's draft is so bad you win with whatever you pick there. Like, I don't know. I still
He's
think
like-
he's horrible.
I'd say he's the Rainer of mages, where like
Huh.
Yep.
he can't kill anybody by himself, he can't chase people down, he can't escape. But if people fight the exact way he wants to fight, which is like pokey, sustained wars where people aren't diving or running away constantly and turning, then like in that situation he's good. But will people play to his strengths on the enemy team is the question.
I think his ult is really good. The
Well,
fear-
Horrify? Yeah.
That's pretty
Fear
much
is
his
good.
Yeah,
redeeming
very good.
feature right there. And he's a really good solo laner, so I mean if you need value there, he beats a lot of the common ones.
Fair enough. What about Zarya? Let's talk about her. Zarya's obviously been seeing a ton of bans. A lot of teams seem to fear her, but at least in the Nexus games, when Zarya was making it through, she was rarely winning. I don't know if she won once, to be honest with you. Do you guys think that she's just a hero that just hasn't been figured out yet, still has obscene potential? Because she puts out big numbers, win at max energy.
I think people are playing her wrong.
Playing her wrong.
Yeah, they're just not good enough at her.
Oh,
It's
Kata's the
yeah.
only one
Called
who knows how to
out.
play.
I mean, you have to play around her as your team, and people aren't doing it right.
Well, yeah, I
That's-
mean, I think one of the reflections people get from her success in like Hero League, I mean, people play into her strengths a lot of the times and help her build her numbers up very easily instead of playing around her. And it makes Zarya all of a sudden seem extremely powerful in those situations. But when you have coordination and
Yeah.
a team that's working together not to build up her energy, not letting her get that for free. Like it's about making sure that she doesn't get that for free. And she's really good at splitting uncoordinated teams as well. Because if you have certain people that start focusing her, they build up her energy, then she starts doing a lot of damage to people, and everybody's like, "Oh, we gotta hit Zarya," but then like half the team is not, half the team is. That's where she thrives. So of course she's gonna do really well in those situations. But yeah, I think a competitive players just have figured her out and know how to work around her a little bit. But not to say that she's not going to be great in her own way. I don't really know how people have been using her strategically in scrims and stuff, but that's just my 2 cents on Zarya.
Yeah, in Hero League, she's definitely OP. Like, if I play her in Hero League, I feel invincible because no one is ever gonna you can't be coordinated enough to focus anyone down properly. So Zarya is just gonna go off every time. But like in actual games, like you can make the decision as a team to just not hit her shields or to just kill whoever she shields because suddenly the fight's a 4v5 and it doesn't matter that she's full energy off that. So. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think she's good.
She's definitely not a solo warrior though. Yeah, right?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Because that's something that we have seen tried. I think in the Europe finals they did that one game. It did not look good.
No, absolutely not.
I've seen people do it in Hero League. It always feels bad.
Yeah, you just lose.
Yeah.
She just doesn't do anything without someone else to like shield to build energy off in front of you. She just dies.
You almost have to go expulsion zone to just have any kind of control.
No, I always go expulsion zone.
It's really. I didn't think it was going to be the better ult, when I first read about it, because I was like, Graviton Surge, it's so good, right? That's what I think of when I think of Zarya. But expulsion zone is quite powerful.
It's just the cooldown. It's too high.
Plus, everyone can
Surge?
just
dash
out of it, which sucks.
Do you think there's a way to do like the opposite of unstoppable? like prevents any kind of cleanse or anything from it?
It just needs to be like in Overwatch, where you can blink out of it because you're not actually like moving through the field, but you can't like vault out of it.
Yeah.
Because then like cleanse will actually like counter it, rather than right now Vala can literally just vault out on her own, or Tychus can dash out on his own. Like that makes no sense. Like it should be like your Zeratul, you can blink out of it because you have a blink,
or a bolt of the storm could be used.
Yeah, or like bolt, but. The way
it's interesting. Like, it's an interesting way to think about it because it's like a movement mechanic and it's pulling the character in, so they shouldn't be able to just like move out of it.
Yeah.
Kind of agree with you on that.
Yeah, it should be just like it is in Overwatch, I think.
Apparently Reinhardt can charge out of it, but that's believable because he's such an oaf. Like, I believe him being able to charge out of it. But you think the biggest variable is really just cooldown? Okay.
Yeah, that is. Like it pretty much does the same thing. It like it divides the team better than the other ult does, and they like it creates enough space that whoever's in the backline split off can't actually fight. Like whereas Graviton, they can actually still do things, and they're not actually like split off.
I have a question for Psalm. So for the melee assassins, the bruisers, where do you really see like? Because I know like Sonya has kind of fallen off, and everybody has sort of pushed Sonya under the rug. But is it all about the Alarak right now? Is it all about the Thrall? Is there a little bit of Kerrigan being added in there for some spice? Like, what do you expect to see for the landscape of that from other regions as well?
Alarak is definitely one of the melee assassins of choice. I think we can still expect to see a lot of Illidan from like Korea.
Yeah.
Europe, I feel like, did he still play Life for All?
Yeah.
I definitely think Alaric and Illidan will be seen a lot at BlizzCon because I think, Korea. I mean, you see Rich, he plays a lot of Alaric, he plays a lot of Illidan. Illidan's always first band over there. We like Alaric, so you can see those two heroes the most probably.
No.
Would they just in Korea? Do you think they would just pick Illidan pretty much in most situations, right at the top of the draft, regardless of the fact they're opening themselves up to other counters? Do they just like pick it straight up?
I think MVP would. I
Yeah.
don't know if L5 would be willing to, because I think Rich is probably just a better Illidan than Chunghai is. And so whenever you see L5 play against MVP, it's always just Illidan first ban. So I think MVP would, for sure.
Cool. Interesting.
Now, Europe likes to make fun of NA for playing Zool, and I wouldn't even say NA plays a ton of Zool, but it still comes into the mix. Where do you think Zool sits? Is he still going to be just kind of that flex on certain maps and only in those kind of maps?
Yeah, you pick him when he's good, and when he's good, he wins you the game. You don't pick him otherwise. Like I think we've won every Zool game we've played. Because we pick him when, like, he's good enough that you just win with him.
Yeah, I remember you guys did Zool Sergeant Hammer on Dragonshire, and you guys won in like 12 minutes or something with a 4-level lead.
Oh yeah,
DreamHack.
I mean, he's not a good hero, except for like those few situations. And then
But that's fine. I love that. I love that we have heroes in the game that like it's like, oh well, Zool's actually broken here, and every other situation Zool's subpar, but every once in a while he's just gonna absolutely ruin someone's day.
He's kind of like Zagar in the sense, like, most of the time he's kind of cancer to play against, and he's like annoying to play against because he has so much wave clear, but he's not, like, if you can actually deal with him, he's not that good.
Yeah, you just need the right comp.
Goes away.
You're cutting out.
Apparently that doesn't last through death.
He's playing his quick match.
He's just tilted through his quick match.
Oh.
His demonic circle didn't go off or something, and he died. So we lost the game.
It despawned.
Cough and feed.
I'm feeding. My circle despawned.
So, you guys always gonna remember this little poster here? I guess
Where'd you get that?
This is a relic now, huh?
Yeah. PG Psalm.
Never forget.
That's kind of global.
Zoya was basically cuddling with that during Bloodlust. I don't know if he showed it on camera much, but he loved it.
Really?
Peck the Mage wants it. I'd raffle it off if I didn't want it myself. Sorry. Keeping it forever. The Murloc brand, obviously. Let's talk a little bit about that Astral Authority. How was the whole process? Because I talked to you guys at DreamHack, and you guys were really unsold on. You guys were just kind of planning on being Murlocs when I spoke with you, but here you are in the Astral jerseys. Obviously,
Cool.
Congratulations. But it's what was the decision to finally leave Murlocs or become more than Murlocs?
I don't know. We talked to a few orgs. Like, we were talking ongoing, and Astral just seemed like they actually care and want to put forth effort and actually help us out. And that's really what you're looking for in an org. Like, it's always disappointing when you get picked up by an org and they don't actually like you don't actually do anything. Like, sometimes when you're on an org, you just basically have the name and you just do your own thing anyways. But they actually communicate with us.
That's great.
Give us what we need.
Actually.
So it's
Definitely player friendly.
They're humans. They're not.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, congrats to Astral. Obviously, they're going all out, bringing you guys out here to boot camp in Southern California, right near BlizzCon. I see they've decked out the esports arena. There's something in the background, try hard.
Got a banner or something.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We need a stick and we're gonna wave in the crowd.
Wait, what?
We need a stick and then
We need to
wave the
make
Astro
a
flag.
Yeah, we need a
Artemis gonna do that.
flag bearer.
Yeah.
We
Wait,
have 5 of them? Oh, okay. We have
This.
5 banners apparently.
wow.
It's
No,
gotta wave it around.
Just go.
what you
Apparently
need
So,
is you need a Samuro cosplayer
Oh.
to wear an Astral
Oh.
banner on his back.
Ooh.
Nice.
and
Rip
that's
Baxter.
what we're looking for. So whoever's coming to BlizzCon as Samura,
I got you guys. I'll dress as a
There
samurai.
you go.
Get that Astral banner on there.
that's the dream.
God, all the new heroes Blizzard puts in the game have really long whippy ponytails. Like Alarak,
Dude, the Olorek one was so funny. Today we were on Brawl with the Blues, and Karen Rentaro, she like managed to get the tentacle ponytail to like completely consume Olorek's face in the hero select. That's great. It's great stuff.
That's ridiculous.
Love the ponytails.
Looks good, man. Everybody's got them. Does her hair flip around? The amount of time I spend spinning heroes is like next level. All right. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to pick your guys' brains on drafts and all that because that's for you guys to keep to yourselves. So sorry to all the fans that want us to talk draft logic, but that's not going to happen.
It is just really cool, though, when you think about when you get to the global stage. And it was kind of touching on what you talked about earlier, Cattle, where like your region or whatever has the set way of answering certain picks. And then another region will pick those things. And you're just in your, like, when you watch another region play, you're just like, there's such an obvious counter there. Why don't you pick it on the other side? But that's part of the fun of seeing these different, like, strategical choices and how they clash together. So I'm really excited, man, especially with the teams being so established now. There's so much good talent spread across the regions. It's going to be so crazy to see.
I don't even know what to expect though. Like those, we talk about like these metas that start to exist between just the matchup, right? Where this one hero is suddenly going to become prominent in the draft, like say Tyrande. And that meta exists independently between them. But once it becomes global, that becomes a lot harder to do because you can't know each team that intimately, and it'll just evolve throughout the draft. So BlizzCon is bound to be a heck of a ride. And you know, it's more than just an esports event, though. Believe it or not, it's kind of hard to remember that that BlizzCon was initially basically WoWCon. It was basically a big celebration of World of Warcraft. Now it's obviously got all kinds of huge competitions for Overwatch, Heroes, Hearthstone, StarCraft. I almost said Diablo, but totally not. World of Warcraft, like the whole deal. And when it comes
Diablo PvP never quite took off as an esport.
it was
at
one of the BlizzCons. They had it.
Dude, they should have Diablo 2 PvP where people just meet outside of whatever it's called, that first town, and you just like instantly flag and start fighting. Oh my god.
Oh,
that would be
the greatest esport.
Yeah, get the ear collections.
Yes, yes.
Oh man.
My cats are pissed because I didn't give them dinner yet. They're so aggro right now. But in terms of Heroes of the Storm and what we've gotten recently, you know, this is kind of what we were talking about in the show the last few weeks. I don't know if you guys had watched it, but basically we've gotten so much recently. We got, you know, all the new StarCraft content with the maps and the heroes, and we just got Heroes Brawl and the MVP system and some other UI tweaks and some nice little improvements here and there, game performance updates, and Samuro, the whole 9 yards. When it comes to BlizzCon, it's kind of hard to guess what there might be because all the things we just got, it's like, well, what do I have left on my guest list? It's like WoW maps. What do you guys want to see? Let's start with you, Psalm. What do you want to see at BlizzCon for new content?
I want Warden.
Mayev, Shadow Song?
Ooh.
And Garrosh and Grom. I think that would be really cool to see.
You're just a WoW nerd. You want 2 warriors. They're going to add Garrosh and Grom together. Wait, what if that's one hero?
Whoa. Too intense for me.
I want Garrus and Ragnaros as a hero.
Oh, we need a draft system.
Oh yeah.
That would be the #1 hype.
Hero
Yeah,
swapping?
you were talking about that, Jake, a little bit. Like if they just went hard on like a giant UI overhaul and like did a bunch of new stuff.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if they need like a massive overhaul because they have done a lot of nice, fine improvements. But
I just mean additions. Yeah, overhaul's the wrong word for sure.
right, but like, yeah, just kind of include things like, you know, hero swapping at the end of the draft, where we no longer have to use Heroes Draft, and Heroes Draft is down, and then we go to Stormcraft. Like that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
oh god, there's stuff in the back.
Fury, I hate to break it to you, but you know, when I have a theory, I'm always right. And my theory is that Ragnaros will never be a hero, but he'll be a Heroes Brawl.
Oh no. No, you're wrong, Jake.
Oh no.
I feel like they have to make a Molten Core map. So
Oh, that would be cool. I feel like there's a lot of heroes that will make their way into Heroes of the Storm, but not as heroes, as like other things. And but Ragged would be such a good hero, just mainly because his quotes would be so good.
I want Diablo heroes. I want male Barb.
Yeah.
Male Barb, male Wizard.
Now, male Barb at the first BlizzCon, they showed his model in Heroes. I don't know if you guys knew this.
Yeah.
But they showed his in-game model for Heroes forever ago, but I think the intent was to make him just a Sonya skin, right? But who knows? They haven't talked about that. They've never done a gender swap for a hero ever in Heroes of the Storm, and I feel like the models are so drastically different. Maybe that's a concern, but I don't know if they would ever make like a second Diablo male barbarian with. I mean, there's enough abilities to make a new kit, right?
I think they absolutely should. There's like infinite abilities. They could make like a bunch of heroes off just like Diablo themed abilities.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Decker Kane as
I
a
want the
hero.
Diablo 2 assassin. That'd be cool.
I didn't play D2.
Ooh, with traps and stuff all over the place. Yes.
Ooh, that sounds
Diablo 2 assassin
fun.
would be hype.
Full Teemo hero.
Lightning sentries.
Lightning sentries, yeah.
Oh man, there's two heroes I want really badly. One of them's Mengsk.
Arturus Manx.
Oh, makes-
Yeah.
What would his
I
kit
think-
be?
I think he would
Resident
have to be
Sleeper.
a global presence, like deployment control.
Oh, and he's
hero,
at, like, oh my, that's a
Like a
brilliant
a
idea.
specialist. He'd probably be some mix of like Asmo, Zagara,
Wait, so
Abathur.
He's literally the StarCraft hero. You just play StarCraft and you just micro units.
I don't think that's
Cancer.
palatable. It's either going to be super OP or worthless. No, please, no. Just get it out.
He's okay. And then I want Phoenix, but Dragoon Phoenix. There's
Dragoon.
already
yeah,
enough
Phoenix.
semblance. We need a ranged
Phoenix is hype.
carry StarCraft Dragoon.
Oh, I want Malthael.
The
Oh,
Reaper.
Yeah,
It's a good chance for that.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, Genji
hoping-
would be hype too.
God,
Yeah,
Genji.
Genji.
I see him being so scary. I
Yeah.
feel like they could do Genji where he's always got his sword, make him a melee hero. I feel like if they tried to do Genji Shuriken style, it wouldn't work. I think they'd have to make Shuriken
Yeah, it'd be kind of lame.
yeah, they'd have to like change him more than any of the other Overwatch heroes, probably, in my opinion. But
I just make like a shuriken his Q ability, like
yeah,
skill shot
that
or
sounds
something.
cool. Maybe he has
Yeah.
the Q and the W. He's got the spread and the direct, like he's got two ranged or something.
Yeah.
And then the deflect.
Dude, I think Hanzo could translate pretty well as a ranged.
Ew.
Could Hanzo climb
Like he-
over lanes?
Yeah, obviously. He's just climb over all terrain.
Okay, it was a Hanzo main.
Yes, yes. I want to hit somebody. I want to hit some dragons. Dude, can you imagine? Like it would work so well in HOTS. I feel like that character would be one of the easiest to translate. He gets like a nice vision tool through that search arrow, whatever it's called. You've got maybe something that does a little bit of like an AOE split when you shoot it, and then you've got your dragon.
As long as it's true RNG, and he has RNG involved with his
Oh no.
simple geometry.
It'll hit in a predictable fashion.
May with Jaina, the Dream.
Ooh.
Ring of Frost with Blizzard, or her Blizzard, which the little thing's called Snowball. The ult's called Blizzard. It's confusing. And Jaina has Blizzard as well, so that'd be Blizzard on Blizzard action. I'd ship that.
Oh man.
Okay, any other hero? June, what do you want? What heroes do you want in Heroes?
not sure.
Do you play other Blizzard games?
Yeah. Oh, I want Mephisto.
Mephisto.
From Diablo.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
You know, everyone on Reddit is like, kill Thuzad, kill Thuzad, kill Thuzad. No one here cares about kill Thuzad.
I mean, I don't even
Not really.
play WoW.
The hype's dead.
Damn. Max,
The Lich.
Max is not
I already
out.
have a KT.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's a fake KT.
Chain Frost would one shot teams for like a month, and then would be nerfed and never seen again.
Oh man. Just like the Dota 2 Lich. Ooh.
Kel'Thuzad is so badass, though. Like, That's his Hearthstone card. Classic War 3 box art. I want Kel'Thuzad.
What was his old like his heroic was like Death and Decay type? What was it? Something like that.
Yeah, it's just kind of like I think it's probably damage and slow on the ground. I don't know if it would have slow though.
It's kind of like an Earthquake if Earthquake also did like 10% of your health every second. Seems good.
Look at this nerd in his human form. And World of Warcraft. Lore life. Yeah, Kel'Thuzad would be cool. Okay, so in terms of heroes, I think, yeah, those are all, possible. Obviously, I think it's pretty much guaranteed we get new heroes at BlizzCon. But in terms of like features, functionality, yes, hero swapping at the end of the draft, that would be fantastic. I think we all agree that's long overdue in terms of just convenience, right? Not having to make those draft links for each and every match would be, it would just feel like a luxury at this point because it's been a couple of years of doing it. I used to have to do it as
we've
caster,
gotten used to it.
yeah, as a players, I'm glad you guys have gotten used to it because I used to hate doing that while trying to do production and trying to it was awful. But what are the things? I mean, do you think that like there's room for features that are still lacking? And if so, what?
So I'm going to go on a limb here and say one thing that I've been talking a little bit about it lately on different stuff, but I feel like a chance that Blizzard has some form of a PvE thing in the game of some kind. And that'd be really weird, right, for a MOBA. And it would be going on to some new ground. But I think it could be possible. And I think it's something that a lot of players would enjoy, that content, that type of thing, to have an option to maybe do some sort of dungeon or scenario encounter type of thing where you go do something with your 5 heroes and it's, boss type mobs that you have to deal with and have people tank.
So
and maybe even like if they actually invested some good time on it, make a heroic mode just like in Hearthstone where there's actually challenge even for like really high level players.
Raid map editor.
Yeah, raids.
Cool.
You're suggesting like Diablo 3
They're
maps,
raid.
basically, but
Pretty
heroes.
much, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Now, that'd be like kind of what I was saying about like, maybe incorporating Ragnaros into a brawl, right? They could create, just classic campaigns of various famous, WoW events or StarCraft events or whatever, make their own, make Nexus events.
Yeah, make it weird. Like mix up the lores.
But it's entirely possible they just did that as like a similar thing to Heroes Brawl. Because, Kay, I don't know if you play Overwatch at all, but their Halloween event is kind of like a campaign, right?
I know, that's pretty fun. And they managed to make some cool PvE content in that game, which you would think like PvE and Overwatch. What? How do you do that? They managed. It looks pretty darn good. It's fun. So I think, so they've given us plenty of content lately in terms of shiny new maps and characters and just like aesthetic stuff. And now I think it is time to back up and like catch up the game systems a little bit. It is time that we get an in-game draft for sure. There's just a lot of backbone type of stuff that should be bringing the UI of Heroes up to the same level that the content is at right now, which Heroes is a really good game right now in terms of content. And we're getting to that point where we have so many cool maps, characters that, there's just so many different possibilities. So I'd like to see all those things that we talked about between, swapping, character swapping and draft, in-game drafts that are actually, tournament ready, stuff like that. Just more tools to make competitive Heroes of the Storm a better experience within the client itself.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, slow down the maps a little. Like, we're at 11 in the map pool now. Like, it's getting to the point where it's like hard to practice everything. But like,
I mean, on that note, should they retire maps?
Yes.
I think they should just like update the maps or like fix problems on the maps.
No, they should remove some entirely.
Yeah,
I do like seasonal stuff or rotations.
Yeah.
I think that kind of thing works pretty well. And then the other maps are sort of just like there if you want to play them in different modes. So
yeah, I mean, just like from a casual point of view too, like this many maps, it's getting, I don't know. I feel like even like the original maps, like a lot of people still don't know how to play properly. So just adding more and more and more map content is gonna like lower the game quality because you're gonna have some people who just don't like understand how a certain map works, and that just skews the game and makes it one-sided. So just need to focus on other stuff, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about retiring them myself. I've been ranting about that for a while now. I think there's
I just want one Warcraft map.
just one.
Yeah, just one.
Just one. He doesn't want two. He's sick of two.
What map? Where would it
Curse
be?
Hollow.
Curse Hollow is
Warsong
not
Gulch.
Warcraft. Warsong
Warsong
not
Gulch.
No, Curse Hollow is not
Yeah, like a
Warcraft.
battleground.
There's not a Warcraft map in the game. Garden of Terror, Cursed Hollow, they're all neutral. Like I guess I can perceive how like Cursed Hollow could feel Warcrafty with like, you know, the Raven Lord and like, but that's not like.
I think I just lump everything that's not clearly defined as a Diablo or StarCraft map. I'm just like, that's probably Warcraft. That's
Nope.
like some area.
There
Wow,
literally
okay.
is not a map that exists in the Warcraft realm. It's just neutral fantasy, is what things like Dragonshire and Cursed Hollow are. They're neutral fantasy.
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, with Warcraft 4 going to be announced this year as well, you know, that maybe the next event will be the Warcraft maps, right?
I've
right.
been calling for Warcraft 4 on the last two BlizzCons. And you can
I
listen
just
to
casually
TownHall.
committed to that. I'm just like, yeah, you know.
But it's so funny because like when they announced Overwatch, that was like the WoW 10-year anniversary, right? This
I
was,
know I know what you're about to say. Like,
Right.
you expected it?
Yeah, I was sitting in the crowd with Zoya and Kuvi, and we're like, you know, being our little town hall nerds. We're watching, we're enjoying, and Metzen comes on the stage and he's talking about like 10 years of Warcraft, and he's getting all teary-eyed and all this great stuff. And then they cue up a video. Zoya and I are both literally crying. We're like in tears of joy. It just
We got baited so
anticipating
hard, dude.
this Warcraft video. And it's some trailer for a documentary they made about like the history of Warcraft. And the documentary was great, but I was like, oh my God. And then they announced
Dude,
Overwatch.
they
'cause-
built up that moment too
Yeah,
hard.
'cause-
In that moment, it was just like they set the announcement up for Warcraft 4 right then and there. And it was just like, oh,
Oh, and
then
I
we
guess
cried more.
the other variable was they had a new game like available to play, but all the monitors were off. So we knew there was a new title. Everything was just black. Everything was just like this huge section roped off, new playable game. It ended up being Overwatch, but
yeah.
War 4. Wait, did they release the floor plan yet? For
I think
BlizzCon?
So
I think
yeah.
they did, yeah. But I haven't gotten my conspiracy hat on and started
Detective Jake
trying to,
going
like,
in.
put together the puzzle.
He's going
I'm sure
in.
I'll leave that to somebody on YouTube who's probably spent like the last 38 hours just, you know, studying it on coffee.
They just release it? BlizzCon.com.
I think it's been
a
out
few
for a
days
couple
ago.
Event info. I'm gonna find it. Floor map. Okay. So, well, this will be probably the last thing we talk about here because, oh, wow, they've actually had to expand to the third floor. So every year, BlizzCon has kind of gotten a little bit bigger. This will be my fourth BlizzCon, I think. And, you know, initially it was all just kind of, they had all the halls, but like that was it. And then they moved the registration line to downstairs, and they expanded to the arena for StarCraft 2. And if you guys have never been to the StarCraft 2 arena and you attend BlizzCon, you need to go. Like, Cawthon, you're a former StarCraft nerd. You know how badass that is, and it's next level.
We're gonna try to get some inspiration from it. You know, channel our inner Neebs.
Dang.
Neeb is a StarCraft player, actually sponsored by Ting. Ting, you know, the premier sponsor of Bloodlust. He just won the season in Korea for the first time. First time a foreigner has won a StarCraft 2 event after I don't know how many events, probably hundreds. So, pretty badass.
Korea.
Yeah, it was in Korea. So going through the actual stage, this is the way it's laid out here. So in the past, main stage is always on the left in that main hall. It's actually that's all chairs here. This is all chairs lined up, and the main stage is this little thing right here. So that's like where they do the cosplay contest, the opening ceremony, the closing ceremony, the concert, you name it. Overwatch Arena looks crazy. It's circular. I don't really, and like I guess they have seating around like this. This is going to be a brand new stage. That'll be cool to see, and it looks like the DirecTV. This is like the main central hub for the DirecTV broadcast, and then this is the Overwatch play area. They put Diablo right by the bathrooms where it belongs.
Come on. I like Diablo.
So that'll be Diablo, and then Heroes and WoW will be side by side. Heroes section looks pretty big, which is dope. And then oftentimes these are like little sponsor booths. All these little things are like sponsors. It's hard to read because I haven't enhanced it. Full view. Enhance. Yeah, Corsair as well, NVIDIA, Jinx. Signing area. This is what you guys will be signing autographs here for fans right over here. They'll force you over. Looks like we get Illidan near us. Nice. The Orc and Wolf. But yeah, we share a stage with WoW. So in Heroes is actually, I think in the schedule, we're at the latter half of the day. So it's like WoW will be the first half of the day, and then around 4 p.m. or 6 p.m. it'll swap to Heroes until 10. I think 4 to 10 is what it is. And then Hearthstone is over here, and the StarCraft's over here. And then apparently they've moved, because last year the Dark Moon Fair, which is kind of like, just kind of this chill little place to go buy plushies. Realistically, that's all it is. Was in the back here, and they've moved that to a separate space, which is cool. But yeah, that's the BlizzCon floor.
Yeah, face painting on level 3.
You gonna go get your face painted like a Murloc?
An orc.
He's gonna be an orc. He's gonna
You
betray
gotta get the
Murlocs.
war paint for the stage, man.
Dude, I would be so happy if you did that, Fury. You're committed now. You know this.
Okay, I'm going.
Oh, and then the BlizzCon store and registration is all downstairs. So, madness. BlizzCon's going to be nuts. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. It seems like they've actually outgrown the Anaheim Convention Center. But that is just a few weeks away. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have any more talking points. I mean, we've rambled a lot about the different teams, what we want to see at BlizzCon. Definitely want to try to sync up and do some fun stuff at actual opening week in BlizzCon, do some stuff live because it's always a lot of fun, but we'll have to see. Any other final thoughts?
No, kind of all thought out.
No, it's all good. It's definitely been interesting having the full team here from Esports Arena. But thank you guys so much for joining us here. Any shout outs you'd like to give?
Got a question for you guys.
Uh-oh.
This is a question for Jake and KO.
Ooh.
What do you guys think will place?
Top 2.
Oh,
Whoa.
I have confidence.
I would totally agree with that.
That's from the heart?
From the heart. Wholeheartedly.
Oh, high praise.
I see you getting the finals. I see the finals being epic.
Remember what I
think
said
it-
earlier. Like, I really feel like you guys are this tier above EU and NA right now, and then right below you are the top EU teams like Dig, and then right under that I feel like is where the rest of NA falls. So I think you guys are a clear cut above, but obviously the top Korean teams are going to be insanely tough.
So when you say top 2, doesn't that mean we're beating one of the Korean teams? Which one do you think we're going to beat?
It's hard to say offhand. Like, honestly, I think the way MVP Black drafts is kind of greedy, and I think that you guys could really abuse that. Like, they try to get away with a lot of things that just shouldn't happen, right? And for whatever reason, they tend to get those drafts. But I feel like you guys are really hard to draft against, and I think you guys are really good at adapting on the fly and just kind of throwing something in there. Just, some teams, their draft order looks the same all the time, but not so much for you guys. You guys are happy to just kind of mix it up. And we look at something, it's like, well, why are they doing that? And it's like, oh, they're just because they're just opting to shake it up. And I think that's kind of what sets you guys apart from a lot of the other teams, because Denial's actually gotten really good at mixing up their drafts as well, actually. They've become far more flexible, especially compared to Burbank. But
Yeah, I definitely think draft is one of our strong points, and I think that can give us a good edge over some teams.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude.
Jake's getting trashed in
Chat doesn't believe.
chat.
Chat doesn't believe, but that's what this is all about. This is the predictions, and if I have to eat crow after BlizzCon, that's fine. But I do believe in Astral. They are, I think, the greatest hope of all the Western teams by a long shot. Dig, I love you guys.
Agreed.
Denial, I love you guys. Fnatic, I love you guys. But I don't know. You're gonna have to prove me wrong.
All right, put the nation on our backs.
Put the Western.
Jake's ruining our underdog.
Shit, did I just jinx you?
We're trying to float under the radar here. What's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are gonna get like
Gonna have no one pay
top
attention
6,
to us.
maybe. I don't know. You guys will do all right.
As long as we don't
We're
run
up
into.
though.
This
We're
hangs,
no pressure.
nerds.
this hangs over
I
my
don't know who
bed.
they are.
But alrighty, well let's head to shoutouts. Astro Boys, take it away.
Who wants to do
All right,
shout-outs?
June.
What?
It's always
Uh,
June.
June
Why?
is our
June wants a
special
shout-out.
person.
June
Shout out.
God.
Go.
What? Shout out to Astro for surprising us. I don't know. Hey, put me on the spot.
Exactly.
For the good jerseys, sweaters, or sweatshirts and stuff, and I think Azia for the new gear we got, and yeah, anyone supporting us.
Shout out
Oh,
to
don't
Esports
forget,
Arena
Sports.
Oh, yeah.
Twitch.
and
Sports
XG
Arena.
Land.
Oh yeah, XD LAN opened up on Sunday, so we could play the Nexus games, and they're usually closed on Sunday. So shout out to them, XD LAN.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. About it though.
Yeah.
KO, take it away, man.
No, you guys know where to find me, Twitch and YouTube.com/KO, at TempoKO on Twitter. Follow me to occasionally get a tweet when I remember to tweet, because I'm really bad at it, but I'm trying to get better, guys. But yeah, the same old.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us this week, everyone. This will be the last normal town hall before BlizzCon. So basically, Friday, all the teams are flying out there. Saturday, all the casters are flying out there, and that's going to be one heck of a journey. It's going to be a lot of preparation, setup, rehearsals, the whole dealio next week, and then Wednesday opening week all begins. So we talked about that earlier in the show, kind of what to expect out of the start of the event. That will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week for opening week. That's what, the 26th? Yeah, so exactly 1 week from today. So, considering that's generally when we would be doing Town Hall, there is absolutely zero chance of us doing a show next Wednesday. I can say that right now. Will we try to work a show in the Tuesday the night before? Maybe, but I guarantee you that everyone's going to be getting their mindset straight, both players and talent, and I can't really promise a show for next week. The week after that, leading into BlizzCon, I feel it is far more likely that we can get a show rolling because... well, it should be doable, but it's going to be a journey. All of us will be there for 15 to 16 days in Southern California. Please come out and cheer for your favorite teams. So looking forward to it all. Once again, big shout out to all you guys. Good luck with the Samuro grinding and Cool Dan grinding or Zarya grinding, whoever you guys are playing. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for having us.
Welcome here to Town Hall.